Episode 4, A Game of Silence. Flashback, a week later. The gym was louder than Rae Wuyin expected. Not with voices, but with motion. The echo of bouncing basketballs, sneakers dragging across polished floors, and the occasional screech of the scoreboard flipping numbers mid-drill. He stood by the entrance, taking it all in. Most of the players looked older, taller. They moved like they'd been playing together for years. Like they belonged. And then he saw him. Chen Yu. Standing at the free throw line, shooting with calm precision. His arms moved like clockwork, lift, flick, land. The ball barely touched the rim. A perfect swish. Every single time. The coach barked Rae Wuyin's name and waved him over. Transfer kid, yeah? You played before? Rae Wuyin nodded, brushing the hair from his forehead. Starting guard. Back-to-back regional wins. One of the boys nearby gave a low whistle. Another elbowed Chen Yu, who said nothing, just kept staring ahead. Chen Yu, the coach said, without looking up from the clipboard. Pair up with the new kid. One-on-one. Chen Yu's gaze finally flicked toward Rae Wuyin. Expression unreadable. He didn't respond. He just moved toward the opposite half of the court and bounced a ball in Rae Wuyin's direction. Rae Wuyin caught it with one hand. Strong silent type, huh? Nothing. They played. No words. Just rhythm. And weirdly, chemistry. Not the romantic kind. Not even the friendly kind. Just the kind where your body knows what the other player's going to do before they do it. The kind that only happens between two people who play seriously. Chen Yu guarded hard. He didn't go easy, didn't show off, didn't flinch when Wei got a shot past him. His defense was clean, but unkind. Wei kept up. Matched his pace. Matched his energy. But every time he stole a glance at Chen Yu's face. Nothing. During a break, Wei sat on the bench, panting, sweat clinging to the back of his neck. He looked over as Chen Yu laughed quietly at something the captain said. His posture relaxed. His mouth even twitched into a small smirk. Then Chen Yu glanced at Wei. And just like that, gone. No expression. Just coldness. So you do speak, Wei thought. Just not to me. Locker room, post-practice. The air was humid with heat and soap steam. Boys talked loudly over open lockers, joking, tossing towels, complaining about homework. Wei pulled off his jersey and rubbed a towel over his face. Then he heard Chen Yu's voice, deep, casual, responding to someone about the next match lineup. Oh, now you talk, Wei thought bitterly. So it's personal. He walked over and stood nearby, pretending to check his bag. You've got great control, he said to Chen Yu. For someone with no personality. Chen Yu didn't look at him. For someone who talks so much, you say very little. Wei blinked. Then smirked. You know. I think I like you better when you're shooting. At least then, you're useful. Chen Yu gave the slightest tilt of his head. That's mutual. Wei's lips twitched, halfway between impressed and annoyed. Oh. You're a smartass. Noted. Dorm room, that night. Chen Yu walked in first, dropped his duffel, and headed to the shower without a word. Wei followed a minute later, slammed the door a little harder than necessary, then threw himself onto the bed face first. God, you are exhausting, he muttered into the blanket. Chen Yu walked out later in a towel, drying his hair. His body was muscular, scarred in places. Athletic, but not flashy. Wei didn't stare, he was too annoyed for that. "Seriously? What's your deal?" he finally asked, voice muffled. "You're like a walking mute button. Except you've got favorites." Chen Yu ignored him. Pulled on a t-shirt. Sat down. Opened a book. Wei turned his head slowly. "You know I exist, right? I'm not just a mattress ghost haunting the corner of your room." Still nothing. Wei groaned, sat up, and pointed dramatically. "Okay, I get it. I'm not worth your words." "Cool. You'll regret that, though." Chen Yu raised one eyebrow. Wei's smile turned mischievous. "I'm gonna make you speak, Chen Yu. Just wait." Narrator. There was no warmth between them. No softness. Just silence, challenge, and the beginnings of something messy neither of them could name. Not friendship. Not hate. Just an itch under the skin. And a growing need for a reaction. Little wars. Chen Yu's math notebook was missing. He flipped through his stack of textbooks again. Then again. Nothing. He narrowed his eyes, pulled out his chair, checked the floor. Still nothing. From across the room, Li Wei sat on his bed, reading a comic with exaggerated innocence, legs crossed, eyes too focused on the same page for too long. Chen Yu didn't say a word. He stood, walked to his bag, checked again. Gone. "This is how you wanna play?" He said nothing. Just grabbed a spare notebook, copied a few notes from his phone, and left for class without looking at Wei. 2 days later, Chen Yu's locker refused to open. He twisted the dial twice. Then again. Then slammed his palm against it. The hinges rattled, unmoved. He felt eyes on him. He turned slowly. Li Wei leaned against the wall nearby, sipping juice from a straw pouch, looking bored. Too bored. "Problem?" he asked, voice flat but laced with amusement. Chen Yu exhaled through his nose and walked away. Calm. Controlled. That night, Li Wei's locker had been filled entirely with socks. Random. Colorful. All mismatched. He opened it, stared blankly for 2 full seconds, then burst out laughing. It began like that. No words. No warnings. Just petty revenge. Wei found his toothpaste cap missing. Chen Yu opened his notebook to find a frog sticker on every page. Wei returned to the dorm one evening to find his pillow taped to the ceiling. He didn't even ask how. Chen Yu once turned on the sink to brush his teeth and found orange juice in the water filter tank. Neither of them admitted anything. But they both knew. At school, they still didn't speak in public. Chen Yu passed Wei in the hallway like he didn't exist. Wei threw paper balls at his head during lunch and blamed the guy behind him. Their classmates were confused. "Are you guys fighting?" "No," Wei would say, smiling. "We're playing." Chen Yu would roll his eyes. "We're not." They were. One evening, Wei returned to the dorm early. He flopped on his bed and grinned, proud of today's trick. He'd switched the labels on Chen Yu's shampoo and conditioner. Harmless. Satisfying. Then the door opened. Chen Yu walked in, wet hair, towel around his neck, and a dead stare fixed right at Wei. Wei. It was the first time he had said his name aloud. Li Wei blinked. "Oh, wow. You do know how to speak in full sentences." Chen Yu tossed a damp t-shirt at him without a word and sat down at his desk. Wei chuckled, tossing the shirt aside. "You mad?" "Silence. Wanna fight?" Chen Yu opened his drawer calmly, pulled out a black marker, and looked at Wei's favorite sneakers near the bed. Wei's eyes widened. Okay, truce. Narrator. It wasn't friendship. It wasn't even hatred. It was something in between. A war of childish games and stolen moments of victory. And neither of them wanted to be the first to surrender.